Yo, what's happening? People, what's good? What's good? Tune the fuck in. Today we talking about I don't know if it's touchy. It is kind of touchy, but we finna talk on it. It's controversial to me because some people think one way and some people think the other way. You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of want people to tune in because it's kind of touchy. I know a lot of people that been that way, you know what I'm saying? And I know a couple people that haven't been that way, you know what I'm saying? And that's a touchy conversation because I used to always hear certain shit growing up in the streets, you know what I'm saying? And since the streets is starting to become a myth, it's starting to unravel. I want to do these same whatever rules still apply. So tune in, y'all. Welcome to Black Coffee Cafe Podcast. It's your host, DB. Tune in, y'all. We got a good one. Like, share, subscribe. That's the first thing you do. If you don't, you just a plain out hater. We just gonna leave it at that. But yeah, today we want to talk about if it's because you've been in the prison. If a person been in the pen and did a long time, is he solid? Does that mean he trustable or not? I want people to tune in to this one. I don't think I'm going to get deep into it until I get a few viewers on this one. Because I want to know. Do that mean you solid? Do you trust the person? If you was going to do something, would you trust the person more? I know the answer to everybody go say is like, none of them. But I'm just saying, just hypothetically speaking, if you had to choose one, if you had to choose somebody to do something with you, and one been to prison and one didn't go to prison, which one would you choose and why? This conversation was brewed from the Lil Durk shit. OTF JAM, they say he wore wiretaps on Lil Durk. So he told on Lil Durk. People, they say, well, he sat his own mouth, Lil Durk. He did 12 years. Lil Durk bought him houses, gave him $50,000 cash, put him on his feet, been a loyal friend to him. And then he's allegedly told on him, wore a wire against him. Shit like that in that nature. That's what people saying. That's what it led up to. It's so much shit behind this story that it's a story I'll probably be covering for weeks on. Like, it's more shit behind this story than a motherfucker. So it inspired me to ask this question. Would you do dirt with a person that been to prison? Or would you rather do dirt? I know, like I said, I know everybody gonna say none of them. I'd rather do it by Maloney, but hypothetically speaking, if you had to do it with somebody, would it be with somebody that been to prison, or would it be with somebody that hasn't been to prison? Or does that mean that a person been to prison, does that mean he's more solid than a person that hasn't been to prison? Because I know we all know both. You know what I'm saying? I know it's like very rare in the community where we come from, in the black community, to see people that don't have felonies and haven't been to prison. I'm one of them. I haven't been to prison. I don't have felonies and nothing like that, but that don't take nothing away from me. Even though I don't care about being in the streets. I don't care about being, you know what I'm saying, none of that shit. That shit don't make me anyway. Everything I've been in the streets, that's because of the environment I grew up in. Everything I did in the streets is because the way I grew up. It ain't have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, like, and me not catching the case don't got nothing to do with nothing either. Me catching the case, I was blessed, you know what I'm saying? That's all that is, a blessing of God. So me not going there don't take nothing from me, you know what I'm saying? And same with another person. So what that mean by another person that went there? A lot of people, the theory with a lot of people is that, because I done heard a lot of people say this shit. I done had arguments a long time, for years. I done had arguments with people for years in different walks of life, you know what I'm saying? And they always said, oh, nigga, I don't trust a nigga that ain't ever been there. If you ain't been to prison, nigga, I can't trust you. You ain't solid, you know what I'm saying? But everybody got to go for the first time, you know what I'm saying? And they be like, I mean, you know, for you to be solid, I'm going to rephrase that. Everybody don't have to go. I'm going to rephrase that. For you to be solid, you have to go there and don't tell. You know what I'm saying? But it's a stipulation with that, what I keep telling people. Everybody be like, oh, nigga, the nigga that ain't been there, man, that nigga ain't gonna hold no water. He ain't solid. He ain't been there. He ain't been tested. He ain't been this and he ain't been that. Okay? And this is my argument. A person that been there got too much fucking shit to lose. A lot of people, that's why a lot of people get jammed up right now. Same with the Lil Durk situation, how he got in his jam a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because you will trust, that's a person first motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, thought. My nigga went to prison, he got out, he's solid. You know what I'm saying? I know I got a lot of homies that went to prison and got out, they solid, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they haven't told. I ain't saying they'll tell anything in the future or nothing like that, but what I'm saying is now, them same people I know that went to prison and they held it down and they solid, but they grown now. So when your homeboy go to prison, he come out, he might have held it down then. He might be solid. He might didn't tell nothing. He did a long time, especially if a nigga do a long bid. It just depends. When a nigga do a long bid, what I'm getting at is when a person do a long bid, I don't give a fuck how solid he is or whatever. When he get out, he a different age. Motherfucker do 10, 12 years. When he get out, he a grown man now. I don't give a fuck. If you 20 years old, when you went in there, you 32. And don't have going there when a nigga go to prison, because it's stipulations to this shit. Nigga go to prison, and his baby 1 year old. When he get out, his daughter 12 years old. And he get out doing the same shit. And so this is your homie. He get out doing the same shit he not really finna go miss another 12 years out of his daughter's life. The cards is stacked more against him now. I don't give a fuck how solid he is. I don't give a fuck what he did before. I don't give a fuck how 10 toes down he was, how he stood solid in his last bid. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. He did 10, 15 years. He didn't tell on nobody. Didn't do shit. He came home. That don't mean he gonna stay solid again, because now he got a whole different ball game on his plate right now. He get caught up like he did that last time. He got another. He's grown now. To some people, 10, 15 years is a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? For real. And especially the person that been there before. People look at people like, oh, because he been this nigga solid. I'll do my, you do your dirt with this nigga that just did 20 years or 10 years in the pen that already been there. He know what it's like. He know all the shit he missed out on when he was in there. Especially if he got a kid. If he had a baby when he went in there and he come out, his baby 13 years old and all that shit, he's trying to catch up with his kid life, and that's what he's supposed to be doing. But if you get out here and get in trouble, you in your mind, like me being smart, in my mind, if I see a nigga he did, I'm not even trying to get him in trouble. Because I know I'm stacking them against the wall. If the feds come in and grab us, that nigga liable, he more liable to tell than the nigga that ain't got no offenses. Nigga ain't got no offense. He a first offender. You know what I'm saying? He might ride it out, because everybody got to get a chance to be solid. This nigga had his chance to be solid. He did it. He was solid. But that don't mean he gonna do it again, because now he got more to lose. His kids is grown. He looking at his kids now. When he was young, when y'all was young and teenagers doing all that wild shit, that shit different. That shit different then. When y'all young and wild and doing all that wild shit, yeah, it's easy to keep solid when you ain't got nothing. When you ain't got no kids to look after, you ain't got shit, yeah, you go hold it down solid. When you get out, you about 30 and you're 30 plus, 35 plus and all that shit, and you got kids and you got shit to hold down, them niggas ain't finna hold it down. Them niggas looking at their babies, because they already missed too much time out of their kids' life or out of their family's life. So that's my opinion on that shit. And that's how Durk kind of like, that's how he dropped the ball. When your homie get out of jail, he do a bid. That nigga got to have a probational period. before he get back in the streets. You always get your niggas, especially if you got the bread, look out for him, give him a probational period. It goes back to paid in full. When Calvin got out of prison, you know what I'm saying? When Ace Boogie's sister, Calvin, got out, Ace Boogie's sister boyfriend, Calvin, got busted, then he got out of prison. When Ace Boogie, he wanted Ace to put him back on, but Ace said, look, I got a little homeboy, I'm going to put him on the block for you. All you got to do is sit back and collect his dough. Don't be back out on the street because you hot. And then he, no, I don't need, but that's what you gotta do. That's what it comes. Your boy get out the pen, he got a probational period. He can't go back out to the streets and shit like that because he got too much to lose. He's too much stacked. He's gonna tell on you. I can hear a lot of niggas now that's been in the pen now. I'm like, hey, I'm solid. But nigga, once you get in that situation and you got kids, you got a 15-year-old, you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking about missing prom. You're not thinking about missing motherfucking graduation, college. Your baby looking at you like this in the court. You know what I'm saying? When you leaving, that's all you looking at is your baby. You ain't thinking about niggas like us. You ain't thinking about niggas. You like, fuck them niggas. I gotta come home to my baby. I already done did 10, 15 years. I can't miss 10, 15 more years out of life. That mean it's gone. You come home, she's 30 years old, she ain't thinking about you. That's all these niggas think about. You know what I'm saying? That's what they think about. Real talk. I know a lot of motherfuckers like, but if a motherfucker, most likely, I'm not saying everybody, but 9 times out of 10, if a motherfucker did a long bid, he not finna do that shit again. He will get your ass up. And them facts. Motherfucker did a long, it could be your best friend. When it come to your best friends over kids, your kids win by a long shot. And you gotta look at shit like that. That can be your boy, that can be your nigga. Y'all could grow up from the sandbox on up. But once he already did a bid, he already missed out on so much time with his family, with his kids, with his girl, or whatever. He missed out on that time. And he come back out to the streets, do the same thing again, get busted. Now he's facing more time. He's a habitual offender now. You know what I'm saying? Now he ready to do anything. Man, you tell him you cooperate with us, we'll knock this shit down, man. You'll do about a year. You get to come back and watch your daughter graduate. They go throw that type of shit in his face. They know. Feds is smart. They looking at your kids. They looking at your kids' age. They look at all that shit for the country. They know how to hang your ass in the back. They know how to put you in the jail. Now you got to make a decision on your friends or your kids. And your kids outweigh your friends by 1,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you rolling with them type of niggas in your clique. That's what goes on. Everybody keep talking about the nigga, they don't trust street niggas. I mean, niggas that ain't been to the pen and ain't been to the prison. Them ain't real street niggas. You ain't a real street nigga if you ain't been there and all that shit. My opinion on that, if you been to the prison, you need to stay the fuck out the streets. You know, I don't suggest nobody to go to the streets. But if you was already living that life, and you got caught up and went to jail, that means you wasn't good at that shit. I'm sorry to say. You know what I'm saying? Take it how you want to take it, but it's the honest motherfucking truth. If you was running the streets and wherever you was doing and you got caught up and you did a long time of it, you wasn't good at it. That means you had your chance in the streets. Now get the fuck out. Don't come back and do the same thing, because now you go come back to the streets. You're going to do your bid. You're going to come back to the streets. You're going to do the same thing. And this time, you're going to implicate somebody else in your shit. You're going to tell on somebody. You're going to try to find a way out, because now you can't do the same shit. You can't do that long-ass bid you just did. You came out, you trying to find a family. Dirk done gave this nigga $50,000. What y'all think he did with that $50,000? He took that $50,000 and made it right for his family. Bought his girl something, his kids something. He went out to dinner. He went living a life. He tried to build a life with that shit. He don't want his life to leave. But soon as he did whatever he did to get caught up, to go back to jail, that $50,000, that friendship, all that shit went out the window. Don't nobody give a fuck about you gave me this and gave me that. And that's the ugly truth. You might can look, you know what I'm saying, look out for somebody. You can love the shit out of a motherfucker. You can do whatever the fuck in your power for a person. But when they put in certain situations, they don't give a fuck about that shit. They don't, you rarely find a person that will give their life up for you. You know what I'm saying? That's like asking the person, would you take this bullet for me? Would you let this bullet, he finna come, this dude want to shoot me in the head, but he said if I could find somebody else shooting the head, I'm good. So would you take that bullet for me so I can walk? They look at you crazy. But you will really put your life in people's hands like that. People do that. Dirk ain't the only one. It ain't like I can't just down them like, oh man. But that's what a lot of people do because we was duped. We was all duped. I wasn't duped because I looked at it a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was some bullshit when I used to hear that shit. But a lot of the streets, if you grew up in the streets, we all heard it. We was all duped. Like, the person, the realest nigga is a nigga. He been to the pen. He been all that. You ain't shit if you ain't been to prison. You know what I'm saying? Nah. The person that been to prison, he need to leave the streets alone. They, oh, nigga, if you ain't been to prison, he ain't a real street nigga. That nigga ain't did no time. He ain't no real street nigga. To me, that nigga's a good street nigga. If he's a good person, period. Fuck the streets. He's a good person, period. If you ain't did no time, you doing good. Why the fuck you want to go there? That person did that time. He don't even need to be out here in the streets. He need to be somewhere working, getting him a good job, a trade, far away from the street, because no more smacks on the wrist for him. First offenders, you might get a smack on the wrist. No more smacks on the wrist for this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He's a habitual offender. They finna hit him with the max. He's gonna tell. He's gonna look at y'all niggas that ain't got no motherfucking felonies and shit. That's why he go tell them niggas that they can do it. I'm gone. He gonna ask y'all to take his case. For real. You sit in the car with a nigga, and this is real talk. You sit in the car with a nigga that got felonies. Y'all get pulled over, and there's a pistol in the car. Or whatever. Dope. Whatever. It's something in the car. This your nigga. The first thing that they go ask you, bro, man, could you take this shit for me, bro? Cause shit, if they catch me with it, I'm gone. I'm gone, man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got that. You ain't got no cases. They catch me with it, I'm gone. That's the first thing they go ask your ass. For real. That's the first thing. When a person got felonies and all that shit, if y'all in the car with a person with felonies and y'all get pulled over and there's some fucked up shit in the car, they go ask your ass. The nigga that's in the car that ain't got no felonies, that's good with his life, they go ask that nigga, hey man, can you take this, man? For real, bro, cause you know if they catch me with it, I'm out of here. You good, man. I'll pay your court fees, do all this, they'll do whatever. You know what I'm saying? For real. So you gotta stay away from shit like that. Like, I ain't saying leave your homie alone because he been in the prison. I'm saying, yeah, I wouldn't do dirt with none of them. For one, with a person that been to prison or a person that haven't been to prison. But you gotta, at least the person with that haven't been to prison, at least he got a chance to prove his solidness. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if he's solid or not. You know what I'm saying? But I know for a fact in my mind, this nigga that did a long bid, I'm going to be more shaken more with him because if he get caught up, I get caught up with him because he got too much to lose, like, for real. He already been there, and just because he been there don't mean he go take it again. Some niggas is like, fuck that shit. Y'all seen that video of FBG Butter? You know what I'm saying? He got caught with a pistol. That nigga was in there crying, and you know what I'm saying? His life over in his head. His life over. Just one pistol, life over. You got to look at that. You can't put your life in the hand of a person that if they get caught with a pistol, they life over. They gone. And only thing that can save them if they tell on your ass. How can you trust a motherfucker like that? How can you trust a person like that? How can you trust, you know what I'm saying? How can you do dirt with a person like that? At least with the nigga that ain't there, now you can school him. Like, nigga, listen, nigga. I know you ain't ever been in no shit, but you get caught up, nigga, you don't mention my motherfucking name, nigga. That's how this shit go, nigga. I'm telling you, don't mention my name, everything, right? You can trick a motherfucker that ain't, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you good. Just don't say shit, blah, blah. We gonna take care of you, get you a lawyer. Hold it solid. You know what I'm saying? He might believe it. But you can't trick a nigga that already been to the pen and did 20 years, 10, 20 years. He already know the law. He know how to tell on your ass. He know how to get himself out of trouble with your motherfucking ass. For real. I ain't saying everybody like that, but people that do big bids and motherfuckers get it fucked up. This my man he just did a bid, you know what I'm saying? Now they want to line themselves up with niggas that did a whole bunch of time and thinking these niggas solid because they big as hell and they cocky as fuck and they look the part. Yeah, they big and solid and they probably can cause damage, but them niggas go tell. Them niggas like a motherfucking a blow pop. Motherfuckers hard and solid on the outside, but straight piece of bubble gum on the inside when it come to the motherfucking doing time and shit. For real, when it come to the law, them motherfuckers pieces of bubble gum. When in the streets, they got the hard shell on the outside. Really, the motherfucker sweet and soft on the inside when it come to a judge, a prosecutor, sitting at that motherfucking table like this, sitting on the other side of this table just like this. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers be straight ultimate feast in front of their faces. Motherfuckers got pizza, damn. Like they showed a picture of my man. I don't even know if it was like photoshopped or not, but my man had everything in front of him but a pack of Zop. Like they probably gave that nigga a Zop pack and a blunt to roll up and everything and shit, cause they is grimy like that. That nigga had everything in front of him but a blunt to finish afterwards. For real, he had a whole meal and everything but a pack of Zop. When niggas like that, they telling. Police ain't finna hook you up like that. Unless you telling. You telling they give you anything. They give you drugs and everything. If you give them a bigger fish, they'll give you drugs and everything. I heard a motherfucker tell me the police try to get him some cocaine. So I would go ahead. Put cocaine in front of them. You know what I'm saying? That's the dirty games they play. But only how they can play them games if you let them. For real. But yeah, that be the elephant in the room. You see, we ain't got too many guests today because, like I'm gonna say, 75% of people got cases or been there. I ain't gonna say 70. It's a good high number percentage of people that have been in the prison. And I want to talk to somebody. I want to know if you've been in prison, if you 35 or older, and you did. If anybody out there that 35 or older that did prison time, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna keep shit solid. We ain't calling you no rat or nothing like that. But I want somebody 35 and older to answer this question. If you 35 and older and you got kids, and you did a lot of prison time, you did 10 years or better, I want y'all to answer this question. Is you going back? That's all you gotta say. You ain't gotta go into details or nothing. If you 35 and older and you did 10 years or better, is you going back? And I'm just asking you that question. I ain't saying no details or nothing. I just want to know, are you going back? You know, I know it sounds crazy, like everybody gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? Or ain't nobody gonna say yeah. But to your knowledge, is there any, let me rephrase the question. If you 35 or older with a kid and you did 10 years or better, not are you going back, is there anything out there that can send you back? For real, if you 35 and older with kids and you did 10 years or better, is there anything out there in the world that can send you back to prison? That's the question I want to ask somebody. And I about know the answer to that question. You know what I'm saying? And we all about know the answer to that question. And if you know the answer to that question, why would you align yourself? Now, I ain't saying like them ain't no cool people. Like, I know a lot of people that been to prison, they didn't change their life. I know people that been to prison before they went to prison And I ain't trying to talk about nobody, but before they went to prison, they wasn't shit. They wasn't really like doing nothing out here. And that's probably the reason why they went to prison. They was like fucking up. They was doing drugs or whatever. And I know a lot of people that got out of prison. And I know people that went to prison for selling drugs. And they got out, and they working, they found a trade, they living a better life than they lived before they went. You know what I'm saying? I done heard this before. I done heard people say, you know what I'm saying? I applaud them people for real. I'll give applause to you if you've been to prison, you did your time, and you got out, and you kept your nose clean. You stayed straight out here, and you did the right thing. You stayed out the streets, and you still made a living for yourself, and you still became something. I applaud you for that. You know.